Close your eyes and imagine. One day, you wake up. But this time, it's not in your familiar room. Before you is a surreal landscape bathed in red dust. Jagged hills stretch into the distance, and the sky glows an eerie shade of orange. There are no birds singing, no trees swaying, and most importantly, no air to breathe. Welcome to Mars. Sounds like science fiction, right? But here's the twist. This could be our reality much sooner than you think. With SpaceX, NASA, and other space agencies pushing the limits of exploration, the idea of migrating to Mars is quickly shifting from fantasy to inevitability. But this is no luxury trip. This is a survival mission. And the big question is, are you ready to survive on Mars? To survive on Mars, you don't need money or muscle. What you need is knowledge. That's right. Knowledge is the golden key to surviving in a place where even the smallest mistake could be your last. Here on Earth, we breathe freely. But on Mars, the atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide, no oxygen for your lungs. So, how do you breathe? The answer is MOXIE, a device that converts CO2 into oxygen. It's like having a personal oxygen factory. But here's the catch. If MOXIE breaks down, you only have about 3 minutes before you experience the terrifying reality of suffocation. You can't survive without food. But how do you grow it in a place with no fertile soil, no rain, and only 56% of the sunlight Earth receives? You might have seen the movie The Martian, where Mark Watney grew potatoes on Mars. Sounds crazy, right? But it's actually possible. Scientists have discovered that certain crops like kale, spinach, and lettuce can grow on Mars with a little help. Mars soil contains toxic chemicals called perchlorates, so it has to be treated or replaced with artificial soil. It's not easy, but it's not impossible either. What about water? Can you water your crops on Mars? Well, here's the good news. Yes, you can. Ice exists beneath the surface of Mars. Scientists also found traces of salty liquid water. If you can mine that ice or filter that salty water, you'll have enough to sustain both plants and people. Now let me ask you this. If you were on Mars, who would you call for help? The answer is no one. There's no grocery store, no repair shop, and no friendly neighborhood handyman. That means you have to be your own engineer, your own doctor, and your own survival expert. One of the most critical systems you'll rely on is energy production. Mars doesn't have power plants, so you'll need to generate electricity yourself. Solar panels? Sure, but Mars only gets 56% of the sunlight that Earth does. So, what's the solution? The answer is kilopower, a small nuclear reactor that can provide enough power for 4 people to survive for 10 years. This power source will keep your oxygen flowing, your water filters running, and your living quarters warm. Maybe you're thinking, I want to explore the red planet with my own eyes. Well, slow down. You forgot one important thing: cosmic radiation. On Earth, the ozone layer protects us from harmful space radiation. But on Mars, there's no ozone. That means every second you're exposed to Mars's surface, your body is absorbing deadly radiation. How do you survive? You'll need a specialized spacesuit with radiation shielding and an oxygen supply. No suit, no survival. Even inside your habitat, you still need protection. That's why most proposed shelters on Mars are either built underground or 3D printed using Martian soil to block out radiation. On Mars, survival isn't just about what you can do. It's about where you live, too. You can prepare all the oxygen, food, and water you want. But if you're not mentally prepared, you won't last long. Living on Mars means being confined in a small space, isolated from the world, with no forests, no oceans, and no escape. Prolonged isolation can trigger anxiety, depression, and even hallucinations. So how do you keep your mind strong? Scientists believe the key is to maintain a routine. Daily tasks, challenges, and group activities will keep your mind focused. And speaking of groups, you'll never be alone. Mars settlements will have small communities of engineers, doctors, and scientists to ensure mental and social support. No one survives Mars alone. So let me ask you one last time. Are you ready for Mars? Think about it. To survive, you'll need to master every aspect of human life: breathing, eating, drinking, thinking, and building. It's not a vacation. It's a mission to create a new home for humanity. The weak won't last. But if you're prepared, you won't just survive, you'll thrive. Humanity's next great frontier is calling. The red planet is waiting for pioneers, not tourists. If you think you have what it takes, then you just might be one of them. If you want to learn more about the possibilities of life on Mars, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Beyondra. This is where we explore the limits of human potential and uncover what lies beyond. Leave your thoughts in the comments and let me know. Are you ready for Mars?